Hello, Virgo. This is Barta from Roosters Peacock, and I'm going to be doing your August 17th through the 23rd general intuitive reading. Hope everybody's doing well. And as the reading gets going, take the pieces and parts and leave the rest. All right. As I was clearing the cards and getting ready for your reading, Virgo, I think it feels to me that you are taking and working on self-improvement. How that applies to you is going to be different for each person. But just in general, you've done a lot of evaluating and you've been in an evaluation period. Now, I am going to say, yeah, that's what I thought. Be careful of your thoughts, what comes and goes through your thoughts, because I instantly got sometimes we're our own worst enemy. Now, what I'm getting from that is with the self-improvement, I think be careful of thoughts where you're tearing yourself up or judging yourself too much. That's what I'm feeling with that. Yes. Resonate choices, signature signals, whatever you put out comes back to you. That's what I'm getting. And that's true. We've got past life guides, karmic lesson, present assistance. I think people are present. And here's the thing is, Virgo, sometimes you guys are like the lone person. It's like taking care of everything on your own, even though you may have people around you. But when it comes to the deeper stuff, it's like you're taking care of stuff on your own. The thoughts and vibrations, I really think for me right there, you definitely take care with the thoughts, the self-thoughts that you give yourself, okay? No sitting here talking. I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself like, I'm going to get some stuff done. I'm going to get back to life. I'm going to, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But when you're sitting here and you're looking in the mirror and you're tearing yourself apart, that is a totally different, that's where this right here, watch your thoughts, guard your thoughts, because it's not helpful. It's not helpful. The best way and what's helpful to you is a movement forward. We ever want to be as beings moving forward, never staying stuck. And when you give the negative self-thoughts, I mean, sure, you need to evaluate stuff. You need to evaluate where you need to improve. We all need to improve. But when you're sitting here tearing yourself up apart, and what I'm seeing is literally like somebody looking in the mirror and they're really just tearing each piece and part, maybe not everything, but enough that watch for the negative self-talk. Okay. If you need improvements in your life, then fine, get up. And there's nothing wrong with what I call pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and really having a real strong talk with yourself. But talking down to yourself is not going to fix the way forward. And that's what you're working on self-improvement. And it's not just, it's an overall package. I think it feels to me with Virgo, you're working on the whole package. You're working from internal, external, all of it. That's what I'm getting. Yep. Shamanic healer. Yes. Okay. Cleansing, attunement. Yes, Virgo, you guys are really working on yourself. It's not you're on yourself. Make sure it's not for what other people think of you. And I don't think that's what Virgo's doing here whatsoever. This is self-work for themselves. I'm hearing for feeling more alive. And this is health-wise too. This is the whole package. This isn't just I'm working on my mental. Ego. Yep. We've got the ego and we've got cleansing, attunement. I really think that you're working with your mind, your body, your spirit, just all become to get healthy all the way around. And thoughts are a big one too. And I think some of you, Virgo, are literally seeing that, hey, you know what? I'm going to get it all together. And here's the thing is maybe that's why I was seeing the person in the mirror. You know what? I just did Leo's and I shuffled them. And because here it is. They had this card too. So just to let you know, Leo had that. 7 of Pentacles. Instantly when I saw this, it's kind of like now some of you literally you decided, hey, I'm going to get my crap together, period. Because why? Because you're getting ready to pick something back up. And it could be an old hobby, an old work, old creativity, or the old energy. But here's it is. It's not going to be old. This time when you do it, when you sit here and you put everything and align everything together, it is going to take some time, but you're going to be picking back up where you left off before. This is definitely going to be hitting the Virgos where you're sitting here looking in the mirror and you have for a while and you haven't quite felt yourself. And literally health-wise as well. That's what it feels like. It's just kind of drained. And however it applies to you, everybody's different. But you've been working quite hard here. Quite hard. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. Yep. And for some of you, literally, you're going to add one more financial it's kind of like it's kind of like a tasty morsel, because here it is. It's something that's going to be actually not just making the bills, but it's actually it's going to make the whole package. In other words, it'll give you that little extra amount of financial that you need, but you have to have the energy, the mental, the physical, all of it. That's what you're working on. Thoughts, vibration. Okay. You definitely, Virgos are walking into this week very well aware that what they put out mentally, physically, and spiritually is definitely going to be picked up universally. Excuse me. Yep. Some of you, you're definitely working. It has the 4 of Wands. Yeah, because it's been a hell of a struggle. That's what I get. Here's the Tower. Here's the Star. All right. Yes. Nice. Okay. All right. The message, I'm just going to give the message here. We've got the 4 of Wands here, Virgo, and that's working on a happy home life, happy family life, balanced, it's kind of having, like, I see cornucopia, even though that's not part of it here. I always see the cornucopia. It's just kind of having plenty. And that's what I was kind of seeing here, right here. This one, picking this one back up, or looking over work. And that's another thing. That's another thing I'm going to point out, is also working on yourself, literally healing the body, the mind, the spirit, all of it. Because there's been a lot of forgetfulness. And I think you're going to be picking back up something that has either been forgot about. There might have been a lot of forgetfulness as well. That's what I'm picking up here. Is it's definitely with that pentacle right there. You're looking over everything so you don't miss anything. It's kind of like that. I mean, this is literally taking, because we've got the 6 of Wands at the end here, because you are riding in a different stance. You're going to present yourself to other people here pretty soon in a different way, a more assured way, a more healthy way, mentally, physically, spiritually. People are going to notice it big time. This is something that it's coming together. You're charging. This is like, I'm seeing the Knight of Wands in my head and charging forward in an area after having to recoup. You're charging forward, and you want to be able to do this, to have the stamina mentally, physically, and spiritually. Okay. Yeah, that's what it feels like. We've got the Star, bright hopes and prospects. For some of you, it's going to be, not for all of you. Some of you Virgos, it's literally about karmic lessons have been learned. Now, I want to point out something. Now, I may irritate and tick some people off when I say this, but karma, what goes around comes around. That is true. But be careful getting stuck in that dogma of karma. Okay. Don't get stuck in that. You make your own way. All right. I'll leave it right there. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what Virgo's doing right here, especially because why? Because we have the 5 of Wands, which there was some kind of great big battle, some kind of struggle, literally. That's what it feels like. It's enough that it wore you out. Not just wore you out, like it may have taken, it's talking about, when I'm seeing cleansing and attunement, this is the whole package you're working on. You're having to take and put, some of you, it's put everything back together, mental, spiritual, and physical. Others of you, there's something to try to take you down, something or someone or someone's, multiple, that you are recouping from. We've got the Tower here. All right. We've got the Tower. With every tower that comes in, now it depends on your situation. With every tower, when the Tower comes in, it's there to shake you up, turn you around, and put you on the path that you need to be. For some towers, other towers, this one almost feels like this is something that you were not prepared for. You were not prepared for at the time, and for some of you, rightfully so. You shouldn't have been. Some of you may have included an Aquarius as well. But for most of you guys right here, you're overcoming a tower. It was a big struggle. For some of you, the month of May would have been a big, big, huge one that would have stood out. Some of you, I'm seeing the card loss. There may have been a loss that actually took and weighed. Overall, I'm not seeing the loss card here, but it did. It's like losing a part of yourself, or losing a part of your health, or losing, however it applies. But overall, you are taking and you're balancing yourself back out after a tower moment. And do know, if this tower hasn't come for you, and say this tower does pop through this week, do know that towers come to shake you up and turn you around. And we've got thoughts and vibrations, signature signals, resonate choices. Okay. that would be pushing you in the direction that you need to be. Others of you, if it has to do with loss, then it's literally taking recouping self and literally kind of putting yourself back together after some kind of loss. All right, I'm going to, I want to do a couple closing thoughts here for you guys. All right, Virgo, you got this, Virgo, because let me tell you what, you guys are very vigilant and you guys do not give up. Now, do I think there's been some down period? Yeah, I do. But I'm seeing the Six of Wands, and that stands out. You are going to be seen in a different light here pretty soon. Some of you are actually going to be seen, like videos, creator, however that applies to you, out in the public eye. Okay? Stuff is switching around. All right. Closing thoughts for Virgo. Relaxation. Peaceful pursuits and happy times. That's what your focus is going to be on. You know what? I know you had this one before. Letting go of urgency, surrender, freedom from constraints. And with that Seven of Pentacles right here, this one right here, literally with surrender, freedom from time constraints. Literally, you may be just sitting here laying down one major burden, so that way you may actually take and maintain and regain that balance that you needed in your life. I really think this is a happy prospects and hopes with the Star card. But also with the Star card, and I would show you, but you're not supposed to show tatas online, which is crazy. That's silly. It's no longer just pouring into something and only little trickles come back, whether it's relationships, jobs, whatever it is, okay? Just life itself. With this right here, you're pouring more and more into something, and it's actually producing something, all right? If you have a Gemini in your life, communication is the key. If you have a Leo in your life, don't let pride get in your way. All right, just a few messages for you. Next card, New Moon, which I think you guys probably got a taste for this was coming around the new moon on the 12th. A new start is coming. All right. I want to do one closing thought here. Well, that's noisy. All right. So the question you guys have to have is, when was the last time I danced freely? Because it will shift you into a beautiful state, because it will get you out of your head, into your body, and in your heart. That it is. It's like literally just getting out, relaxing, and going dancing. You know, just letting yourself relax, letting yourself, unwind. And I think you're going to be doing that. A new start is coming, and you know this. And this is one that's not that you've been hopeful for you, that you're actually working for. All right, Virgo, that's what I have for you for this week. Until next week, bye for now.